I spend on shit that I don't play though.
But that game still had a subscription model.
You can play for free, but it's like really, really limited.
It's literally one of the most restrictive games when it comes to free play. It's so bad. Like you can't even hide. You can't even hide your helmet unless you have a subscription.
That's so wrong.
Oh, it's so bad.
Then, like you could only have like something like 200,000 credits or something. Like it's some insanely low amount that you can't afford most things with that much money.
I remember like it was plagued with loot crates too.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of shit that they throw in there that like, hey, yeah, buy this and this and this and this and stuff. But
great story progression back in the day.
Yeah,
don't regret it.
Yeah, no, and there's a lot of. I mean, I definitely got my money's worth from playing that game too. That's why I'm not really fretting it too much. That like, hey, I blew another $30 on it that I didn't really play. Because I mean, I don't know if I could check the hours that I put into that game, but at one point in time, I had probably 10 to 15 max level characters at whatever it used to be. So
I didn't get that far.
But
well, stories were so great.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the best part of the game, so I can see that.
Yeah, because I mean, I basically like would do like the only stuff like I had locked on everything on the Sith side. Like I played every class, both trees, that you could go with. For because you know how each class has like there's the 4 main classes and there's 2 subclasses for each tree. So I had all 8 of those all the way up to max level, and I was working the Rebel side. But that's when I had to stop. But
I'll never forget the cold-hearted things I did when I was leveling Bounty Hunter.
See, my Bounty Hunter, I played pretty like down the line, mostly leaning towards good, but there was some shit that I did like, so he was pretty even keeled. But yeah, my Sith people, like the Sith sorcerer, and then the shit, I can't remember even the names now. They were just cold-hearted, and pretty much for my spies too, for the Sith. They were pretty just nasty. Times. Done. Scott, I'm gonna send you this link that I just found. That is pretty cool for D&D.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. As soon as I get done subscribing to their Patreon. Come on, thing. Fuck. Load. Oh, what is going on? I don't know why this is loading. Alright, let me just do it this way. We'll give them a couple more minutes and then we'll just start without them. Alright, Scott, I just sent you the link.
Okay.
Seems like it worked. Okay. So it's still scrolling, but apparently I was able to generator.
Data is secure. On the move.
Well done, Seeker. Exfil when you're ready. I've updated your map.
But this thing is just fucking really cool.
I like really cool things.
So like what it does, because Ag played around with it first. Like I found it just because I was kind of looking for prices for something that someone asked me for. And then I saw this, I'm like, oh my god, you could do that, and it beats like having to like roll on it, like continuously roll on a table. Like you just plug shit in and then press a button and it just generates everything for you, and then it kicks out a price for the item.
Oh, nice.
So like I just did like 30 mundane items, like 25 common, you know, whatever, so on and so forth for a shop. And so, and I picked one legendary item that was going to be available in this shop. So the legendary item was a Defender Scimitar, and it sells for 24,100 gold pieces.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's cheaper than the legendary that my large city fabric shop had. It was 65,000.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't pick city size. I just went through whatchamacallit.
One of the really common complaints that I get a lot of when I was going, because I've been going through just a bunch of different like house rules and how people run different things, and one of the things they talk about is that there's not a whole lot of guideline for how to price magic items, and people really think they missed the mark on not being like, just do this.
Yeah. Well, there's what, like I can't remember if it was in the Dungeon Master Guide. I think there's a suggestion in there. Like depending on like how rare it is, this is how much it should cost, type deal.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing that I was reading this guy's thing. I was talking about it. He's like how it's not really out there. So him, based on everything that he's been playing, plus other friends and stuff like that, and he takes suggestions. He goes, well, like how about this and everything, and that's how he like just came across his price point stuff. Is kind of following that. So, but like, hey, it's quick, it's easy, and then we'll go from there.
You can always adjust prices a little bit.
Yeah. If you think something's too cheap or you think something's,
All too expensive.
yeah.
And all too cheap. It depends on which seat I'm in.
Yeah. All right. D&D Beyond. So did you start watching Critical Role yet then, Scott? Since you mentioned that.
Little bit. I haven't gotten too far into it just yet, but.
You watching campaign 1 or campaign 2?
I started watching campaign 1 because that seemed like the better place to start.
Good.
You won't be spoiled.
They get through their technical problems around episode 4 or 5, and then they actually get into good production of the show around somewhere in the 20s.
Fair enough.
Kind of miss the old production, like the ladder music.
Yeah.
Before everyone whined about it, ruined it.
You guys and your music.
For sure.
I want to listen to that trash.
Music is the soul.
How'd you like my thumbnail?
Pretty cool. Needs more avatars on it though.
Well, it's just this is my player campaign, so we can add more to it.
I don't know why you're gonna have a Minotaur in there when he's probably gonna die.
It just means it's mean, Rick.
Just remember, payback's on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's all good. I've lived through the majority of the campaign. I don't mind dying now.
There are worse ways to go.
With the way some of the group acts, Crew Gregor's ready to die at any moment. I'm surprised, honestly, someone has not died in that party.
So, like, one of the things that I told Lisa I don't really know if she wants me to approach it or if she wants to approach it herself and talk to you guys. In a perfect world, Lisa would prefer we go to every other week, which we can make that work. Like, I can just do one campaign and then a different campaign. It's not really a big deal to me. But she's like, well, I don't really know. I was like, well, maybe that's something you want to ask them, and maybe they'll feel a little bit more interested in doing that if it comes from you, versus if I just put it up to a vote. I know that probably everyone's going to vote no, they don't want to do that. But if you go to them and you say, hey, I think I'd rather do this every other week, they might be like, oh, well, we can try and make something work with that. We can just do a different campaign on off weeks, and we just kind of swap back and forth. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's where she's at, and I'm just trying to like pass on the message, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I'd be fine with that. I mean,
That wouldn't bother me. We would just have to take better notes so we would remember shit.
Yeah.
what was I going to pull up? Oh, I need to pull up everybody's sheet. That's what I need to pull up. What the fuck did I just click on?
Who knows?
Sorry, it's been a day.
Who knows?
Alrighty. One, two, three, four, five. All right. All right. So when we last left off, you guys had made it through Gracklestach. You had gone through the gates, got told where to check into the city. You met the captain of the guard, which his name or her name, where is it at?
She seemed nice. That's the extent of my memory of her, but she seemed nice.
You mean the one that extorted us? I thought that was a dude.
No, the dude. There was the dude that extorted you. Was when you, as soon as you crossed in the gate,
Mhm.
he told you to check in to whatchamacallit, check in at the keep. And maybe it's because I'm looking at this from
That person was less nice.
Mm.
Okay, so the guy that extorted you, his name is Gorglak. Gorglak.
Who's MD Black Skull?
That is probably the person that
Someone ordered us to go after Droki.
yeah, okay, yeah, so yeah. Yeah, Erd Black Skull. I'm Captain Erd Black Skull. So yeah, that's ERRDE
Oh,
is the
okay.
first name, and her last name is
Black
Black
Skull.
Skull. Yep, she's the one that gave you the thing to locate Droki.
Mhm.
You heard that a good place to go for whatchamacallit, for information was the Shattered Spirit that's on the docks, which that tavern resides in a collapsed stalagmite type, however you want to look at it from. Shattered Spire. I'm sorry, Shattered Spire, not Shattered Spirit. Stalagmite is how they phrase it. You learned that there is a red dragon that lights the forges.
Oh yeah.
He walks
For
towards the forge, lighting it.
Yep. So there's a chance that you might see a red dragon. You did get badges from the captain that does let you pass down through the west, basically to Lawher's Furrow, which is a big chasm that basically separates the northern half of the city versus the southern half.
And then
And
the literal first thing we did was make sure they work
yep,
by
so in your
challenging
rounds,
authority.
yep, and you did get rebuffed at the bridges at the cleft, though, that saying that you could not pass from there.
We were just checking out the security.
Yep, yep. So you had that, and you do have room secured at the inn, which is the Goldborn's Lair. And it's the only establishment in Gracklesuth that accepts non-Durgar. Places that you did not visit, you did not visit the Dark Lake Brewery. You did travel through the Blade Bazaar, which I had just recently got a list, so I have not come up with the money yet from said list for stuff. I've only had one person say that there was an item that they were looking for. So I don't know if there was anything else that you guys had in mind that you might be looking for along that line. So since it's the three of you, I will let you decide what you would like to do tonight. If you want to continue with like the normal storyline of stuff, and we can go from there, or I can plan kind of something. I can like throw something together real quick just for the three of you to do for the evening. Or if you're not feeling it at all, we can call it a night and hopefully everybody shows up next week.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
So-
doing something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's trouble.
You want to go with the storyline? Or do you want me to throw something together quickly for you guys to mess around with?
I'm sure the three of us can find some shit to do. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been practicing getting drunk this whole time. I'm sure there's at least one brewery that we know of.
Yeah, there's the Dark Lake Brewery. I mean, you guys could go to the Shattered Spire and see what information. I mean, I know that at least one person is looking for information in the city.
Well, we could also just go sell everything, split it between three of us plus the NPCs, and then buy whatever. we want.
You could
That's
do
what
that
they.
too. We could
That's what they get for not being here. We get all the
we could-
money.
we can totally make this a shopping episode if you so choose. Fine with that.
I think I think Gav has some business to attend to that I said I would help with. So if
Yes.
he's up for that, I'll do that.
A couple things to remind you of when you guys were in the Blade Bazaar. Hold on, let me find that stuff again. My little notes that I told you that. Okay, so while you were in the Blade Bazaar, you did witness the Durgar merchant that couldn't stop insulting his customers who wanted they were trying to sell something, but became very, very polite when they wanted to buy something. And I believe that you saw a merchant that was turning invisible during the middle of a transaction, and then but then kept speaking as if nothing had happened. So he kept popping in and out of visibility. And
we saw that one guy run away that we think might be that person that the
Cherokee.
yeah, you just caught a glimpse of, and then you caught a glimpse of something, and then you went over to that vendor and they gave you a description that matched the description that you were given of Droki. And I believe that I have marked So hopefully that matches up with everything that you have.
Daru.
The Darrow, that's the people that what Bopito was, that live in the West Cleft. They're like kind of like the second class citizens. They a long time ago there was like they had staged an uprising against the Durgar and they kind of put them down, and since then they've kind of like walked back up. But initially they were all put in as slaves, but have since like earned their freedom, and they are progressing back up out of that. I just realized, let me do this for y'all so you can see my beautiful visage in the Gracklestuck themed lighting.
Nice.
So would you guys, I would say that you definitely complete a long rest because you guys did go back to the inn for that night. So you have a long rest. If you want to change out spells for those of you that
Probably should.
can do that.
You know, I think we should get a level, and those that didn't show up tonight. Get a level.
No, because you guys are already tracking ahead of what you should be. Well, depending on where things go from here. Because literally there's so much shit that you can do or not do. That's the one bad thing about this campaign, I think.
What? Because I've never looked. What levels does this go up to?
15?
Damn. It's a big
Like,
stretch.
Yeah.
all right, and if we're ahead, so we'll end up being 16 by the time we're done. All right, I like it. That's a plan, you know, way in advance.
But I've been actually a little lenient on some stuff with you guys. Like you guys probably should all be mad by now, at least some point in time. And like I haven't been keeping your madness. Like I've let you kind of let it go afterwards. Like Task, you should probably be madness level 2 by now.
Why? We killed the guy that had that disease.
Yeah, but like you're
There's like a
underground.
whole optional rule set for like going crazy in the Dungeon Master's Guide that like it's really intricate.
Yeah, basically.
I could absolutely see a few of the people going crazy, but there are a few backgrounds where people might not though.
So basically, this is the way madness reads. But I thought it was too hardcore, so that's why I haven't done it. It says a creature's madness level starts at 0. When the creature fails a madness saving throw, its madness level increases by 1, and the creature immediately suffers the level's effect as da 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 da. When the effect ends, the creature's madness level does not change. Anytime the creature's madness level increases, it suffers the effect of the new level. So even if you get 2 short terms, you get the medium level madness. If you get a level 3, then oh shit. So when you get to 3, you could still be suffering from the effects of 3, but if you get it again, you go back to 1 and it resets. So you could have different levels of madness in this thing. That's just fucking crazy. Yeah, that's way too harsh.
Well, it depends on the mood you're going for.
Yeah. I didn't want to be that dark.
For
But yeah.
what I think, like for our Wednesday group, what I think we're gonna end up doing, I want combat to be a little scarier, just because of the campaign.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
decide what campaign?
It's a pretty unanimous vote.
Oh, was it? I voted and never looked, so
was it rhyme?
I mean, 6 people have voted for Rhyme so far, or 5 people. So there's only one outstanding vote, and I bet you that vote is Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Everybody voted for that one. The next one was Tomb of Annihilation
Yeah,
Which I mean, I'd be fine with that one too.
I've done
or
that
Dragon
already.
Heist.
That's scary.
And Dragon Heist I could do too, since that campaign is dead. That I know that I'm officially in there. And like I said, I just know the beginning part of it. We got to level 3,
Well,
and that.
I was doing experience. You guys should have only been level 2.
Well, see, there we go.
Yeah, if you want like a dungeon where like you're scared shitless of entering every room, to Annihilation is your jam. That shit is nuts.
But yeah, I'm fine with everything. The thing I was thinking about, Scott, with Rhyme is I don't know how much shit is out there for Rhyme since it's so new.
Yeah, no, I'll have to do a little bit more pre-work to get everything going, but I'm not too concerned about that. The big thing is it's kind of front loaded because depending on what you guys want to do, I've had a couple different ideas on like how, you know, the question how the party gets together. I've had a couple different ideas on that for the first bit of it, and I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do just yet. It's gonna depend kind of on how the session 0 goes, but also we're still finishing up Avernus, so I haven't
Yeah.
been too.
Is Lisa and Alice actually going to be twin barbarians?
It sounds like it. That's something that they want to do.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know that she's. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't. I don't know that. I don't know if Lisa's decided that she's going to be twin barbarians, where they're both barbarians, or
Or just twins.
if they're just twins. I don't know. I don't know that answer.
Okay.
But
Cool.
we can figure that out another day. This
Yeah,
day
yeah.
is for
This is for the Out of the
Out
Abyss.
of the Abyss.
All right. God damn it! I lost my.
And I'm cool with anything. We can. So we've got a couple different storylines we can follow. But it sounds like Gale has business needing tending.
Yes. So, Gail, you done looking at your spells? Did we lose you, Gail?
He's muted, so maybe.
There were 2.
That's right. Now we only split the money 2 ways.
Exactly. We'll take on this whole place.
And
They're
just
gonna
a
come.
little side
They're
note,
gonna come back, and we're gonna have been run out of town.
Yeah.
I might have to unexpectedly run if my mother texts me because she had her second cataract surgery today and my dad's not in the house. So
No problem.
hopefully nothing too urgent because I don't move very fast these days. So
I mean, we can do whatever if we. I'm flexible.
yeah, no, I mean I doubt it, and I mean obviously unless it's some crazy emergency, but like if she's like, hey, I need something to drink or can you give me this? That's what I need to do because her only good eye right now is her left, which is the one that she lost partial vision when she had her minor stroke. So she's not seeing super
Blind.
clear.
It's
So,
okay.
but hopefully 2 days though, she will be better than what she was. So,
Yep.
so the surgery this time went a lot faster than the other eye, but she had like the last time she just was really tired and that was it. This time she was complaining she had headache afterwards. So, but it'll be good. Kever, is you there yet? You're muted if you're talking.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You good with your spells?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys wake up in the morning and you are in Goldborn's lair. You had 3 rooms. I didn't know what you guys wanted to do. We didn't really discuss who was rooming with who or whatnot. With that, was it 3 rooms or did you have more rooms? Did you have 5?
No, we had 3 rooms. So you know what? The 3 of us room together.
There you go.
And we're getting up early, leaving without anyone else, so no one else knows any of this.
Okay. And I will say, because Kit sent you the list of stuff, that you have her bag of holding as well. For
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
right. I sure do. Yep.
So,
All right, let's do this.
so you have a bag of holding, at least temporarily, unless you can not give it back to Kit. I'll let you two work that out. It'll be Grogu all over again.
No.
Well, you actually have a chance of living this time.
Oh, I would wipe the floor with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, does it have?
I mean, give her a few more levels, and it will be the other way around, probably. But
Let me double check my notes here. Did I not give you? Did I give you a name for the innkeeper at Goldburn's?
No.
Okay, I don't have one here.
Hold on. Yes, Rastrock.
Oh, yep, I do. I have it in my notes. Okay, there we go. They didn't have
Oh,
one, so I
there
made
it
up
is.
a name. Yeah. So.
And the
Oh, okay.
wyvern is named Trembershod.
The what?
The red dragon.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Thumbershad. It's THEMBERCHAUD.
The Wormsmith.
Oh, I spelled that right.
That's because he spelled it for us last week.
Um,
I spelled it right too. That's the only reason I know that he spelled it.
And the other thing that we didn't recap, that you did notice when you were down by the gates, after you passed through the one gate and you were close to that, you did notice that one guard that stumbled and complained that he was tired from a double shift. So you did notice that.
Yeah, let's go tell on him and get some money. He's complaining he's tired because he works so well.
Yeah, and it was Kit that noticed Droki, or the individual. Oh no, it was actually Xandros, Gale, and Kit saw Droki.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you guys were too busy doing other things. So, all right. So the 3 of you head out. And is there a particular place you want to go to? Do you want to go to the brewery? Do you want to go to the Shattered Spire? You want to go to the Blade Bazaar? Where would you like to head to first?
What would you like to do, Gil?
Well, I think I want to talk to the dragon. If I could find him.
Yeah, but it's morning. He's not going to be lighting these lanterns right now.
He lights the forges.
He lights the forges every day. So.
Oh, well, then he's probably lighting them right now.
I feel like if there's anyone who has seen Fensira or noticed, it could be him.
Go ahead and
Could probably track
give me
him.
perception checks.
There.
$26.
My rolling under a 10 continues, and I get an 8.
Sorry, dude.
One of the best perception modifiers in the group, rolling an 8.
Yeah, especially when you can freaking actually see. Um, so, Cree, you hear some kind of rumbling, like echoing. You're not really sure where it's because of the nature of the like the city, like is built into like a big cavern. You're not sure exactly where you can't pinpoint exactly where, but you can definitely hear that something that something big is moving around. So, um, you're thinking it's either the dragon itself, or like if you guys do remember, there are
20.
um
There's 20 stone giants.
yeah, the stone giants that are in the that reside in Dracostock as
I
well.
don't know if they talk to people, but they might know too. But I will tell Gail that the direction I heard the big old movement from.
So yeah, it's still early, so so yeah, so you're like I said, you don't see anything as of yet, but you can hear like kind of the heavy rumblings of either you don't see anything falling from the ceiling, so you don't feel that it's like some sort of tremor or something of that nature.
Yeah, it's just off in a direction, so
Yeah.
we started heading in that direction.
Okay.
So you're there. I would say that you probably kind of hear it maybe to the west. So if you wanted to head towards either the Blade Bazaar or more towards the docks themselves. That was the other thing that you were looking for. You were kind of keeping an eye out for Hemet and whatnot.
Yep, his boat's not there.
Nope, you did not see his boat there.
I guess it sucks trying to paddle that big ass boat with just one person.
Yeah.
His betrayal will be answered in time.
How has it gotten here yet?
Because the NBC he took didn't do much rowing to begin with.
But Pito took his time on the oars, just you know, not as much as some as you guys did. But also, you know, he's half the size of most of you.
Yeah. So yeah, they probably not even here yet. We probably beat them.
I got here faster with the sail. Just saying.
Maybe. We don't know what stopped him in the first place.
Yeah.
He may have gotten eaten between now and then.
That's true too.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe you'll find out. Maybe you won't.
His boat sank because there was no one there to fix it for him.
All right, so you guys, your lair is, or the inn where you're at is basically this building right in here. Okay.
Yeah.
The Blade Bazaar is where Kree and Gale's tokens are at, essentially.
I was wondering. I can't see there. I can't see their tokens.
We're headed west.
We don't have shared vision.
Click off the map.
No, it doesn't work. We don't have shared vision.
It worked for me.
I may not have shared vision.
Let's see here.
Fucking GM, I tell you.
What an asshole. Has vision, dim vision, da-da-da. Everything should be token vision. Everything should be there. I don't know why you don't.
That may have
So,
been
yeah.
something that I had to set up in the player list, not the token, but it's not that important. I can see what I can see, so.
We can see the whole city. We should not, it's not like we can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just weird. If
Yeah.
you can't highlight off the map and not see everything.
Any sign of this gigantic beast?
You do not see him yet as you guys are approaching into the Blade Bazaar.
I'm also gonna just keep an eye out for this Droki guy.
Okay. Anybody else looking for him?
Okay, so I'm not looking to get him or do anything, but at least get some information as we're passing through on this errand for Gale.
Okay. Well, go ahead and give me a perception check then.
Nine.
9. You don't really see anything. It's early yet. So you see a few people kind of setting up their shops for the day. Not a lot really messing around. A couple of foreigners maybe like standing in their shops, you know, stirring a little bit. Not a lot of activity at the dock other than people kind of prepping their boats that seem to be leaving to go out. One thing that you did notice as you guys left, you did see a pair of guards that seemed to be patrolling along your same path.
They still
But,
have this.
Yeah, nothing like too close. So I mean, like if you were to be talking softly or something, nothing that they would overhear. But you know, they're not trying to like hide or stealth. But you guys definitely get the feeling that, you know, their patrol just happens to be wandering the same path that you all are taking. So. So did you want to stay in the bazaar? Or do you want to keep heading west? Maybe go to the spire? Or
With them
We
following us,
think we heard this thing, right?
Yeah.
you heard some
Can I-
like. Go ahead.
Can I use survival to track it? Well, I guess it's the same score as my perception anyway, so I guess that doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah. Because you didn't really hear it when you rolled earlier. Like Cree told you that he heard some rumbling sound kind of coming from the west, but really couldn't pinpoint on there. If you guys want, you could give another perception check along that aspect. I would say Cree, since you just did that one, unless since you were just specifically looking for Droki, then you could roll another one. But I would say that you really probably didn't hear anything. So Gale and
If we stop, does the patrol stop?
Kinda. They kind of look around and stuff. You know, as you guys are like stopping, talking. You know, they're just falling at a really slow pace.
Okay. So I'm going to need to tell Pastor Gale, of course, quietly.
Who's? Okay, go ahead.
So I think, obviously, we're being followed.
Is this a different patrol than when we went through the door, or went through to the mid-southern part of the city?
Yeah, it's a different set of guards than what you.
Okay.
you
Same
get.
uniforms.
Oh yeah. They're
Okay.
all like the standard stone guard.
And we picked them up coming outside the inn.
Yeah, once you guys like I said, they're not trying to hide the fact that they're patrolling along the same route. They're just not like right up on you like you have an armed escort. So I mean, and like as you were told by Hemeth and Rapido, is that, you know, outsiders when they come here, they're confined to the Dark Lake District, which you can see just from looking at the map. Those little white things, you know, those are all the gates that go down to the next section before the furrow. Isn't very huge, so
Right.
you get an idea that they really do keep an eye on outsiders. Just because, you know, they control. I mean, it's the Underdark. You know, shit can go crazy in a minute. So.
Well, let's keep looking for this dragon.
Okay. Gale and Tass, you want to give me perception checks, please?
14. Still can't get above a 10.
All right, so you guys both though would pick up on the rumbling, and it's the west, but it's kind of like the southwest. But it seems like, and as you kind of like kind of perk up and then like mention it to Kree kind of like, okay, yeah, it sounds like it's louder. So you're kind of on the right path, or it's making a path that seems to be closer towards what you guys are doing, or the way you guys are going. So you can either keep heading on, you could stay in the bazaar for a little bit, and if you wanted to try to sell some of this stuff, we can start going through that, or you can keep moving on and come back to selling stuff later.
Well, we're out here to do this errand for Gale, so assuming it's dragon.
I mean,
Okay.
it's early in the day, right?
Yeah.
If you want to sell something, I don't mind.
So I mean, it's just something to keep in mind is that the dragon makes
he's
the
like
rounds
this.
through the city to light
Right.
all the forges. So.
But- Yeah, but like you have already said, that most people are just now starting to set up. So, I mean, might as well go do the dragon.
Yeah.
You can sell at any point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe the dragon's going to disappear below the line that we can't get past. Who knows?
Well, you would gather, since you didn't come across it when you guys made your rounds through, that whatchamacallit, you did not see like a lair for a dragon, so you would have to assume that its lair is below the line that you could cross.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you guys keep heading west then?
Southwest, apparently.
Okay. So go ahead and move to where you would like to go to. So yeah, so like where Taft is at is all like basically that's all blocked off. So if you really wanted to go south, you either have to go through the gate here or go down to the gates over here, which is more west. So either over here where I'm thinking now, or go straight south from where you're at to go. And this is the gate that you guys went through the night previous.
So we're probably gonna see guards at the gate anyway. Right?
Yeah.
So do we notice any of the forges around us if they're lit or not?
They're lit, but they're not. You can tell that the embers are fading.
It's got to be coming around towards us or something.
Yep.
I get
Probably
you.
seeing it for their fading.
So eventually he will run into us. That's what you're saying.
I mean,
let's go west, but we don't have to go in those gates right now. But we can go as far west as we want. If we don't find it, we just come back here because we know he has to still come here.
yeah.
I do
So
not like being watched.
It's okay. We'll watch them as they watch us.
Are there any like street side food vendors?
I mean, there'd be probably, well, there'd probably be like cooking stuff. But there might be some people in the bazaar that if you're looking for some meals here in the.
Just some small like hand food that I can then take to the guards that are following us, but not really following us.
Okay. Yeah,
The
we
old
could say
food
that.
in the car trick, huh? Stick out.
We're not gonna follow for the banana in the tail. That's awesome. And if I could remember those two cops' name right now, it's so what I would name those characters.
Hey, you know what? Since he's gonna do that, as he's talking to him, give him food, I'm going to stealth away.
Okay.
Put my through.
All right. So, so you go up to a food vendor, and we won't even do it. You see that like there's a vendor who's got some biscuits and
Biscuits. How they get flour?
from that bread stuff.
McCabe and Foster.
I do it with kidding. I know.
Detective
Yeah.
McCabe and Detective Foster.
They got flour from doing 8 rye grain, and
Or
5 wheat grain and 8 oat grain.
Ew.
And then they made some multi-grain bread.
Nasty.
Don't forget that eggs and water.
Yeah, couple eggs, couple buckets of water. That Dark Lake water. It's got a nice little tangy aftertaste.
Stout.
What is that? The one that makes the. Where's the one? Blue Cap, the grain of the underdark. Blue Cap biscuits. So you find a vendor that's got some Blue Cap biscuits, and Tash, you go over to the guards. Like, how are you walking up to him?
As he goes up there, I bet you he eats one before he gets to the guards.
Well, I'd probably buy enough. How many guards are there? What is this going to cost me?
You see 2 guards, and we'll say the biscuits are kind of cheap. Like how many you want to buy?
If there's 2 guards, then I'll buy 5 of them.
5 biscuits.
5 biscuits.
We'll say 5 silver for the 5 biscuits.
Okay. And then I will bundle 2 and 2 and I'll keep one in my hand,
Okay.
and I'll approach the guards, and I'll offer them to them, and I'll start munching on the one.
Okay. Do you speak Dwarvish?
I do not. I speak Minotaur
You speak Minotaur in common.
in common.
So, are you going to approach? Are you going to say anything as you approach?
Just one handful of a biscuit, the other hand with 2 bundles of biscuits outstretched towards them.
They kind of look at you uncomfortably for a minute, and they're like, like they say it first in Dwarvish, and then as like you probably give them a puzzling look that you don't understand, and then one of them will kind of say to you in like very like kind of broken common, you know, since they're tasked with doing the Dark Lake District, you know, they need to speak it so they can kind of understand that stuff. But they clearly like they've never seen it. Like they're a little bit like they're watching you, but they're also kind of all because they've never seen a Minotaur before. So they're like, you kind of see them nervously have hands near ready weapons, you know, for that thing because they're not sure. But you know, they did see you like purchase the food at the vendor and come over, and you know, one of them holds up his hands like no thank you, he says in broken, and then you could see his partner kind of like, well, but you know, and then he just kind of goes and he's like, no thank you. Kree, give me a stealth check, please.
Ah, 12.
12.
That for bullshit.
Well, let's just say you would have had to roll a natural 20 in order to do it because I just rolled a natural 20 as my perception check from it. So
Anyway, I try to dip back behind one of the bizarre tents, I guess.
and you could see the one that kind of held up his hand. He nudges the other one to like kind of like, and he's like, yeah. And so the one still engaged with you that initially started talking to you, but the other one kind of split off. Tess, give me a perception check.
15.
15. Okay. So you see, like, you're talking to the one, right? He's like kind of right in front of you, and you see the other one kind of break off and pass you. But then, like, after he passes you, you could swear that you feel something, and this is like a couple seconds, like you swear that you feel something like kind of brush you, like kind of almost bump your elbow as you like kind of are gesturing out with like the biscuit, you know? And you turn to look, and the other guy is like 10 feet away, almost. But you just felt something like bump into your elbow, but you don't see anything there.
Do I still have my wallet?
Your coin purse is still there. You know, doing a quick doing a normal like just quick check. All your equipment seems to be in place.
Fair enough. Cass will grunt a little bit and look back to the one that stayed and offer the biscuits again, saying, "For friend, out late, double shift," and try and express in this terrible,
And he's just looking at you
unshared language.
He's like this kind of puzzled, and he's like, no, thank you. Appreciate it though, but no, thank you.
Are there any vagrants or
Like a homeless person? Or...
yeah,
Nah.
Us?
Yeah, just I mean, like I said, there's not really.
no,
a
we've
lot
paid
of,
for
like,
lodging, we're good.
there's not a lot in the way of outsiders you see out. Pretty much, the outsiders you see out are doing stuff like they're either setting up a shop, they're working at a boat, You know, they're kind of like seem like people that are like have sort of task at hand, not really people that are actually out shopping just as of just yet. I would say that this is probably really early in the morning. Like I would say, like you guys are up at like 7 in the morning or so, and just you happen to catch the one vendor that was like making biscuits. He hadn't much fare other than that. So yeah.
Fair enough.
You have a guard there that is thanking you for the food but refusing to take it. You have the other guard that kind of go, and then Kree, as you kind of step behind that tent, you look back over your shoulder and you see that guard standing like kind of there that has you in that sight. Gail, where are you with all this? Did you kind of just stay by the food cart, or did you kind of like?
Yeah, I guess so. Gail's looking for any critters in town.
Not a whole lot. Like
any
cats or like pets or like rats or
anything, any creature down here.
Yeah, I mean nothing a whole lot. Like it's like surprisingly pretty pick clean. But because it's not your normal traditional city, that you would have visited. Where you have all kinds of hustle and bustle from outside visiting. It's a very, especially with the docks being as controlled as they are in the district, it's surprisingly really, really clean in the area. So you're not really seeing anything along that line. So, and it's not like a big, like people don't have pets. You don't hear dogs barking like you would hear in like a bigger city, like if you're in Waterdeep or Winter Haven or one of the 10 towns, what have you, along those lines. So it's like you're in a city, but it's like not like a city that you've been. It's very, I guess, militarized. Where there's not a lot of outside distraction versus
Andy.
that stuff. So
It's hard to be a druid down here.
so yeah, you don't see your typical, like not even like a horse or anything really like of that nature. Like you there's none of that normal stuff that you would see from an animal standpoint in a normal city.
I guess I'm just gonna wait for Task and his feeding shenanigans to finish.
Yeah, I'll come back to.
Okay.
Tass will return with the bundled up biscuits and offer to share them with the rest of the party.
You guys have yourself a nice blue cap biscuit if you choose to eat it.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You guys can notice how the guard that had followed Kree kind of like just looking kind of mad at his partner that said no. You hear a stomach rumble.
Oh, it's obviously slow. Enjoying every bite.
He's eating the biscuits so well they could put him in a Carl's Jr. commercial.
Seductively.
Yeah. You're leaning over a cart, rubbing soap suds on your chest.
Gale Druid crafts some wind behind Kree's hair.
Yeah, it starts blowing. Good times, good times.
Tass is oblivious and doesn't understand what's happening.
That's funny. Who was it that did the cart? Was it what Paris Hilton did like the first one or something like that, or was it somebody else that did them? I can't remember. I know I had a bunch of crazy models doing them. But so yeah, so you guys eat your good biscuits. Your stomach is nice and fresh. You hear some guards that are standing nearby. Their tummies rumbling as you guys are eating the biscuits. But so yeah,
Task, I say, voice. Those were really good. Thank you, man.
It's good, Baker. We come back.
Those were incredible.
you see this the food vendor that's like not too far away, and he's like, "I'm here all day." Just right.
You, sir, are an artist.
Thank you.
I guess we'll just continue southwest for a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean,
What do we see along the way?
so along the way, you'll see if you go south, like to this point, it's just different warehouses and stuff that you see. You do have the Shattered Spire right here, which is another, it's a tavern, but that's where you were told you could get some information, like, which where outsiders usually go to share information. So you have that there that you could do as a possible stop.
Okay. Shattered Spire.
Yep. Let's see something here. Let's see here. Let me do something. Ooh. Give me a perception check, guys.
Mm-hmm.
17.
A lot.
Hey,
Alrighty. Let me see here. Hopefully this will work this time. What's wrong thing?
A trio of +5 and +7s. And we can't find nothing.
Excuse me. Here we go. So, please tell me this is actually here this time. I do not understand why this isn't working anymore. Oh, why is it called that? Okay. That's fine. Okay, it worked. So, let's do this here. So let's see what works as. You know, we'll say that you're over here. Moving y'all. Tab, so I have that. All right. And this. Humanoid. There we go. Boom. Whoops. Good Lord, come on. Oh, shit, they're right there. All right, that's fine. Okay, so these are the two stone guards that you guys were come talk with, you know. You guys are standing by the food vendor. All of a sudden, you guys hear this huge crashing sound coming from the south. The sound of the forges that you heard be going off is kind of drowned out for a second by a thundering roar and the sound of crumbling rock. The Durgar that have been setting and the outsiders that were setting up alike turned to look as a two-headed gray-skinned giant bursts through the gate through the south. As the giant bursts through the gate, it's howling madly, lashing out left and right, littering the plaza with rocks and stone debris. As he bellows, one of his swings connects with a Durgar soldier whose broken body flies through the air and crashes near you with a sickening crunch.
Did he just kill my friend?
No, it wasn't the two. He was.
Oh.
This was a guard that was from like he basically hit. If
he killed one of their friends.
Yeah. So basically, if we go back to the old map,
No.
I got
They
you.
killed Bob.
So this gate here, he basically busted through this gate right here. If it's still has it loaded for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So the giant came through here, hit this guard that landed up where you guys are. Like we're talking like
Yeet.
probably 80, 90 feet
Yeet.
that he hit this guy, and it landed at your feet.
And how big is this thing? How tall is this thing? You said headed?
It's a two-headed giant. Let's see here.
At first, I thought I could take him, and then he kicked a dwarf 80 feet.
So
Now I'm not so sure.
I can fire an arrow. We can see if it does anything.
give me an insight check. Everybody.
17.
So, Kree and Gale, you guys are just shook that all of a sudden this dwarf just came flying out of the air and landed at your feet and clearly is dead. You know, and you're like, what the task? You're like, still like, you're like just in the mid form of shoving the remainder of your biscuit in your mouth. And you see this giant like do this. And like you said, you were thinking of charging when you saw this thing, but then all of a sudden it hit that and you kind of take a step back and it like kind of like brings you back to your senses. And you can see that it's definitely, it's crazed and terrified. Like, so it's not, it's like, it's scared. It's not so much that it's like berserk, but it's like, just fearful.
Looks a
So
lot
you
like
have those there. Then let me see what else here.
what else?
So, let's see. Two Durgar come running up, and we're gonna say, yeah. Boom. We need to make it bigger though. All right, and then what else is here? I wish they had actual pictures for this stuff. All right, so following behind the giant, you see two Durgar guards that kind of like, they look a little bit more like Hemeth appeared, and two Durgar Zaorn that come rushing past the giant. So everybody else in the bazaar at this point kind of freaks out and ducks behind cover.
That seems appropriate.
Yeah, I like that idea.
What do you guys do? You,
How tall is this giant?
we will say, let's see here. Does it tell me how big he is?
Pass is going to
I would
charm
say
the giant with the remaining 2 biscuits.
What?
let's see here. Because it doesn't give me its actual height. What is a stone giant's height? An adult's average 18 feet in height and weigh 1,700 pounds.
God damn.
Fine.
How tall is the ceiling?
Probably about 30 feet in here.
So I don't want to be selfish. Okay, we'll see what the group does.
Pass will raise his hands, half a biscuit in one hand and a bundle of biscuits in the other, and yell out that he's frightened.
Not gonna work.
The
It's not gonna
giant is frightened. He's afraid.
How far is this thing from us?
It's probably about. I mean, it's there. Let's say here. So
Still on the world map. You guys got something different.
oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me bring it back in the bazaar.
City map.
Sure. Say it's probably not that close. I would say at this point in time, it's probably about 60 feet away from you.
Hasn't noticed us.
It hasn't really noticed. It's just frightened. It seems like it's running. Like as you hear Tass yell out, frightened as he's kind of holding out his food. You guys pick up on it too. That it doesn't seem like it's berserk in that it's meaning to attack anything. It's like running.
And the Durgars as well, but they're not running back. They're running from the
No, the Durgar are chasing the responding to the, like you get from the scene that you see. It seems like the Durgar are going to attack the like basically try to control the giant versus not running away from something. So
Does it have any like chains or anything?
Nope. Nope. It has. Nope. It's bare hands. So. Let's see here. It's coming
Expressed
in your
in how
direction.
good these blue caps were.
So yeah, so it's moving in your direction as it's going, and it seems to be heading towards you. But like I said, you see the two Durgar that you engaged turned around immediately to face it. That's when you notice the rest, the other four Durgar that are trying. Looks like they're trying to corral this giant. So you guys have your choice of what you'd like to do. If you want to try to take cover and hide, or if you want to engage it. Like you see these Durgar trying to corral this giant. Do you want to assist in that? Or
Yes, armed with my biscuits of deliciousness.
Yeah, actually, I will move over there
okay.
and cast Ensnaring Strike. Hit a creature. I don't want to damage him though. Well, shit.
First thing I'm going to do is cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay, so that's your action. I'm giving you guys one action before we do initiative.
Okay.
Oh, well, if you're doing that.
I mean, we can decide what to do, or we can get an ambush. It hasn't detected us yet.
No, it's heading towards. It sees you. It's heading your direction.
It's just not coming after us. It's just running, is all it's doing. So, I mean, we can move out the way. And just let business be business. We'll get a sense of how well these Durgars fight.
Yeah, I don't see the benefit of helping them. In
Wow.
fact, this seems like a good distraction.
To get on out of here. Okay, I like to pass without trace, so let's yeah, let's all sneak out of here.
Think of a reason why we should help them.
If we think of one, we'll come back.
Only to like not be seen as a, you know, it might put us in good favor. But Tass is more thinking that the Draugr probably don't understand that this thing is frightened. They're probably just seeing it as a threat, and he will attempt to try and convey that to them as well.
See anything like coming behind it?
Just more Durgar coming behind it, just to try to do it for right now. Actually, go ahead and give me another perception check.
Everybody?
Yeah, you guys can do it too.
2.
10.
Okay, and Gale. So, Kree, as you're getting ready to like slide as Gale's casting his spell, slipping in between some of the things, you can kind of notice that you see another giant that's further away. Like you happen to catch because the gate is like smashed at this point, and you can see another. Like you can just make out the shape of another giant, and it's big enough, and it's like that you can kind of see that it has a look of concern on its face.
No one follow it.
Yeah, the giant that's following it. But it's a bit a ways away.
So I'll just point out that there's multiple giants, and maybe we should just get out the way and tell Task. I'll say as loud as I can so Task can hear it, because I mean, there's a lot of giants coming. I mean, if there's two coming, there's more coming. This could be like the demon thing destroying another city all over again. Fucking cities down here. What's this one?
It would make sense if we had multiple giants raging, but it sounds like only one of them is raging and one of them is concerned.
I'm not sure if I can help you either way.
So you've got Pass Without a Trace cast. What are you doing, Kree?
Well, I guess we should just stealth. Right?
I'm gonna try the stealth again.
Let's use the stealth.
mean, I'm gonna stay close because I mean I don't want Task to get hurt, so I don't want to be too far away if I need to help. So I'm just gonna move slightly to the right, I guess.
Okay. Go where you want. Give me a stealth check and roll, and then do your movement.
27.
Okay. You definitely feel hidden. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, add 10 to that.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. 37.
So
Pretty good.
Actually, as you do that, give me another. Yeah, give me another perception check. So as you move over there and you like going to slide behind the cart, you bump into something, but you're not to the cart yet, and you're like, "What?" And then you slip to the cart.
Okay. I don't think this is. I still don't think this will ever come into effect down here. But I do have a favorite enemy if it's an aberration of any sort. If that means anything, I didn't even look at favored enemy because I figured it was so far off base that.
I think that's if you can subtract memories as well as to return information.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's you do not. Yeah, it's not a. You don't see anything alien.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter.
So, but yeah, no, good call though. Good call.
So when I felt it, did I feel it move away quickly, or did I just go through it?
No, you felt you bumped into something sturdy. Maybe had a little give to it, but then you were like kind of sliding to because you were kind of moving softly, so like you hit it and more like you bounced off of it and then slid over to where you hid behind the cart. If that makes sense. Okay.
It wasn't a structure.
Right. Like you initially thought that you brushed up against the structure, so you look down and you realize that you were a couple feet away before sliding. Like, cause you're kind of like you're stealthing, and so you're looking at the way of the giant, and you bump it thinking that you hit it. Like, okay, whoa, I was not focused, and then you realize you weren't there yet, and you're like, okay, it's weird, and you slid to the cart.
All right.
All right. So so Gale cast Pass Without Trace. Tass, what are you doing? You wanted to hold out the biscuits, or what do we got going on?
Fast is going to. He's not going to be the first target in the thing's way. Can he make it to close to the two guards that he offered food to?
Yep. You can get up right behind them.
So he will get up right behind them and try and. I'm still out of my skill set here. He wants to try and help calm the thing, and he's hoping that the biscuits of deliciousness will do that. While he warns the guards that the thing is just frightened and won't respond to violence.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check. Let's actually do persuasion at disadvantage.
An 8, sadly.
8.
I had a 21
Yeah.
before disadvantage.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, the 21 actually, because I just rolled for the giant, and he actually, 20. I'm rolling pretty decent tonight. So, but yeah. So yeah, he wouldn't have. He doesn't respond to your deliciousness. Now, though, the guards they kind of give you they look back and see that you're behind them, and they're they kind of nod that they understand that he's frightened, but they can't just have a giant rampaging through the city.
That's totally fair.
So yeah, at this point, why is everybody doubled? That makes no sense. That's really, really weird. It took. What the hell is going on? All right.
You have a reroll character.
Deleted.
Get out the way fast enough.
If I do this again. There we go. But it didn't do Gale. There we go. Alright. So, I'm going to have you all roll initiative, and I'm going to roll initiative for the giant. But all the Durgar are going to go at the end. Gale, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you roll initiative?
Yeah.
Take.
Oh, ouch.
All right.
I mean, I guess if you're going to get it out of the way on anything.
My initiatives are notoriously bad.
The Durgar are all going to go last. So, we're at the top of the next round. I will say that the giant now is right in front of these two Durgar. So, Kree, what would you like to do?
Okay, so and it looks like they're trying to hit him, or I mean,
They want. It looks the way that they're bracing themselves. They're going to attack, but you would gather that they're trying to subdue, not so much kill.
okay. Can I take one of my shottier arrows that might be blunt and doesn't do any damage and shoot at him and cast Ensnaring Strike?
Sure. So you want to. You're trying to pull damage.
I am trying to pull as much damage as possible. I do not want to harm this thing at all, but I realize it's an arrow. So, I mean, but yes, as much as
Okay.
I can possibly get away with.
Go ahead and give. Go ahead and roll your attack. Can you guys hear that?
No.
The
Or
popping
what?
Mm-mm.
But I just rolled a natural one.
Okay, give me a d6. Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, you go to like you're trying to fumble for a bad arrow, and then you realize like most of your arrows have been pretty decent. And as you're trying to do it, and you're thinking about not doing damage, and you go to pull the bowstring back, and for like the first time in a long time, as you pull back, the arrow just falls to the ground, and your bowstring like draws and
That's
like
fine.
releases without the bow.
I got 2 more tries. I gotta try it again. $16.
Okay. 16 misses. So shaken by that one, like you go to shoot and like hit it, and as it goes, like the giant just kind of like swerves and the arrow goes flying by.
Alright, one more time.
Just your dread ambush.
Fuck. Yep. Alright, so I didn't do shit. Yeah, it's a spell slot.
You're very shaken over the fact that you dropped like you're like, oh my god, it's like I'm like a kid again. You know. So yeah,
Ah, I didn't damage it. That's good.
so hold on, let me do begin combat. That will help there. It is the giant's turn. Let's do this. Six-sided die. Where my six-sided die? Pick between 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5 to 6 tasks.
5 to 6.
Okay. Rolling six-sided die. 5 to 6, it attacks you. 1 to 2, or 3, 4, it goes with the Durgar. Guess what? As it sees this bigger entity come up to it, it reacts towards you, and it is going to swing one of its fists at you, and actually rolls a natural 1. And it just swings wildly and misses. It's going to take its other fist and swing at you. Does a 23 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. For 15 points of damage. As you see this other, as you like kind of like dance out of the way of the first fist, as you're turning back around, the second fist just slams into you, and it's 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Okay. And that is its turn. So now we go to you.
This thing is just one class larger than me.
Yeah, it's a large. Or no, I'm sorry, it's huge. And you're medium, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's two sizes bigger.
That means I can't even, like, I can't grapple it, right?
No, I would say not.
What size is it?
It's a huge.
Okay.
Yeah, no more than one size larger. And it is two sizes larger? So
Yeah,
it should be
it's
4x4?
What is it? Large? What's the between?
It's large, huge, right? It's medium, large, huge, right? I believe is the size differential.
And yours said one size or larger, right?
It can't be two sizes larger. So it can be, I can grapple something one size larger than me, but not two.
Yeah. Because it's tiny, small, medium, large, huge, gargantuan. So yeah, technically this thing should be 9 squares big.
Yeah, 3x3.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Whoops, sorry. That's an accident.
Well, since you just got punched in the face, Pass is going to rage.
Really? Nah.
Because he got punched in the face. Which
It's
means we
I
are
mean, I
rolling
would.
on the wild die.
Oh yeah, wow, I love this aspect art. It's really cool. I want to make a barbarian just to do this. Just because it's fun.
Barbarians are sick. Played a orc barbarian one time. The crit bonus. It's insane.
Shadowy tendrils lash around you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. You also gain 1d12 temporary hit point.
Okay. So who are you choosing to hit this with?
The guy that punched me.
Can you just do the one, or can you do multiple?
Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet.
Okay, so you just want to do the giant?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and roll.
So he rages, and these shadowy tendrils spike out and slip between the two guards to start smacking at the giant.
For how much?
I rolled a 12 for the first one. Which do you want, the temporary hit points, or do you want damage first?
However, let's see here.
And it's all or
It's not the
nothing.
same.
So if he saves, it saves.
So the 12, you get those 12, right? Or do you not
So
get them?
the way that it reads is must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 necrotic damage. You also gain 1d12 temporary hit points. It is unclear whether or not I roll once, roll twice. It doesn't say.
Okay. Why
I
did-
rolled one die and I got a 12.
All right, here we go. Shannon, okay, so you got one. What's the con save for it? Oh,
That would be
14.
14.
Yeah, okay. Let me do its con save here first. Oh, it fails. It rolled a natural one. Okay, let me go back to yours. I would say because it doesn't tell you. I would say let's
Yeah,
roll
it's
it
really
again.
weird.
Because usually I guess it would say, and then that person gains those points or whatever. So I would say let's roll again for the temporary hit points.
7 for the hit point.
Okay. And that's a one and done for the tendrils, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It doesn't say that I can redo it like the others do.
Yep. Okay. All right. Cool. So 12 hit points gone. Where's my pen? All right. All right. So yeah. So you do that. So that's your bonus action. You get your action, sir. You get 2 attacks or 1 action.
Oh, I am up to 2 attacks per turn. Nice. I am going to... I'm going to do... Ass will equip his shield, but he's going to attack unarmed.
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to need that AC. Does a 23 hit?
A 23 does hit.
Okay, it's 6 damage.
Okay.
That's just straight bludgeoning, and then same roll, 23 for
Okay.
6 more.
All right. Sounds good.
Then Tass will, in total absolute rage mode, yell out, "Calm down!"
Okay.
Because that makes sense.
You see both heads like turn and look at you, but there's still kind of a crazed look to its face. All right, Gale, your turn.
All right, let's try something crazy. I am gonna conjure animals,
Okay.
and I am going to create a big, fat, giant constrictor, giant constrictor snake.
Okay.
Now, I think it gets its own.
Yeah, you go off its own stuff. Yeah. I believe.
All right, that's the plan. Let's do it.
Hold on.
3rd level.
And you said giant constrictor snake, right?
Now,
It's a challenge rating 2. You can do up to 8, right? So you can do 4.
no, at a challenge rating 2, I think I can only do 1.
One
That's
beast
how-
of a challenge rating 2 or lower.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're only doing 1. All right.
yeah. The beyond isn't really helpful. I looked it up on. Actually, I looked it up on Roll20 Compendium, like for its actions and things.
Here, let me do this.
And bite and constrict, both at +6.
And it's huge, which is good to know.
Where are you at? See if you can move that, Gail.
What we got?
It's this thing here.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Need to choose something else here. Select token. It's like highlighted red. Like I don't have permission, maybe.
Let me try something different here. Here we go.
And actually, the guards and the other beast are highlighted red as well.
Okay, try now.
Still red.
Fresh.
Maybe I'll refresh. Okay, I refresh. Now I can move 'em.
Okay, cool. All right. So that's your giant constrictor snake. So yeah, yeah, and it's
Actually,
huge.
I can summon them within 60 feet, so I'm just gonna put them next to him.
Okay.
Hey. What up?
So do you want him to attack?
Yeah.
Or- Let's see here. We need to add him because it had. Does it have its own initiative or does it just work on yours? I can't remember. Just say.
I feel like if you conjure something, it's your action. I don't really think that you can conjure something and then immediately
Roll
have-
initiative for the summoned creatures as a group, which has its own turns.
Okay.
So all summoned act on the same turn.
Okay.
And it would have a +2 initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll roll 20. See what happens. Yikes. God, I'm fucking worst. Alright, so it has 4.
What'd you get? 4.
I swear to God, if I could just
Well,
count
plus-
the initiatives I get under 10, it would be like 80%.
the plus side is it's got a 4, so that's right after you.
I guess.
So we will say that it can do its turn.
Okay then. Well, it shall try to constrict. Weapon attack +6.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
So just D20. Nice. So I'm sure it'll hit. It is 2d8 +4.
Yep, 19 does hit.
So that's 15 damage, and he needs a DC of 16. What kind of DC?
Probably gonna
Gotta
be.
be strength, right? I mean, that makes sense. And he probably has
Yeah.
a fuck ton of strength, so this will be fun. Escape DC 16. It doesn't. Why isn't it specific?
That would be like a. Well, it would be using an athletics to escape a grapple, if I remember correctly.
Jesus. Well, don't.
Either one, to be honest.
No, you can OD on just a couple of those.
Um, yeah, athletics or acrobatics. So he would use, I'm pretty sure athletics. Yeah, he's gonna use an athletics. You said 16?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he gets a 28.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So as the snake goes and like slithers up its leg, the one of the heads turns to it and it kicks its leg out, but it was just enough damage on it that it squeezed before it kicked the snake off.
All right, well, at least Tass has a hit point sponge with him.
Yep. Yeah, I love that conjure animals. So I did it a couple times with my druid.
I try not to use it too much because it's summons take up a lot of action
Yeah.
economy.
I
But I don't mind using the one where it's like conjure 1 or 2. I think I'm cool with that.
I did a plesiosaur when we were on a boat with my druid. Helped sink another boat just because it just kept ramming its head into the hole.
I've like saved parties with that spell. So, like really hard. Like I mean I cheese it so hard because it's like you don't need line of sight. You can literally like hide behind a door after you summon and just wait. You know, it's like it can be abused. But it did save my party one time.
That's cool. It's fun spell. Sorry, there was just specific directions for the guards here. Okay, let me just roll their attacks. Roll the 2 Durgar first. 1 hits. Do the Stone Guards next. One of those hits. Let me do some quick math here, guys.
Oh yeah, my pass with trace does drop.
Fade.
That it really
Yeah.
matter.
Okay. So the Durgar all went and they did a total of 65 points of damage to it. And we're back at Kree. And the other giant is a little bit closer that you saw coming. Yeah.
Did anything behind that one?
Nothing that you could see.
Attack on Titan.
Mama's coming.
Alright, well, I will take my 2 attacks and cast ensnaring spell again.
Okay.
Did they attack it, the Jurger and the others?
Yeah.
Okay.
20,
Making sure
yeah.
we're all on the same page here.
Okay, now I'm trying to do the least amount of damage, so I don't know, just like last time. I'm not trying to kill it. I don't know if these guys are, but I'm not.
Well, I mean, so basically what you see, I mean, one, obviously because of Durgar versus...
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so yeah, that's...
That's the least amount of damage I can do.
Yep, so 7 points, okay.
And
Your spell. What is this?
next time I hit a creature, a writhing mass of bony vines appears at the point of attack. It's got to make a strength saving throw or be restrained by magical vines until the spell ends. It's concentration.
So you have to.
Strength 15, huh?
So you have to hit it again, though.
I did hit it.
You hit it once.
Right.
Yeah, it's an on hit. It's like attaching a spell to.
Oh,
Like,
so you're casting the spell and then you hit it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what it's a semantics thing where he could have done the bonus section first. He just
Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
No. Wow. Okay. Well, I thought I did. I thought. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Just, it got played around in my head. I'm like thinking arrow shot. The spell's being cast, and then we're good. We're good. So strength saving throw of what is your DC?
It's 15.
15. Okay.
this thing is like fucking.
Shit.
Oh God, yeah, it's ensnared. It rolled a natural one.
Yeah.
So with it, even one with its +9, it still gets ensnared.
Open. You rolled like shit. Okay.
All right, so let me go back.
And I am not taking my next attack.
Okay.
Oh wait, this
Uh,
breaks on a hit, right? Don't it?
Say again.
Do what?
If it takes damage, does it break? Is that how it works?
Oh wait a minute, sorry, I gotta roll again because I get advantage on this save. And that one it passes. Sorry, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's,
1d8. Look at that.
we're gonna go. We'll start the clock with cast your being 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. That's for that one. That hits. That's big damage. He takes and hits this this Durgar here, and you could just kind of like see, like as his fist connects with his Durgar's face, like the face just kind of like the whole like cheekbone kind of crumples in, and like just blood just like spits out of his mouth, and you just see the Durgar just kind of reel for a little bit, and just like the whole side of, I mean, think of like Rocky at the end of Rocky 1, how his face was like all just beat up and bloodied and stuff, but just imagine that with like kind of a caged face, and he just kind of like stumbles. So, and then his second fist actually, as he swings this way, and then the giant swings back this way, is going to attack you, Tast, and does a 18 hit.
oh yeah.
Yeah. For 13 points of damage,
And that's bludgeoning.
bludgeoning.
So I
So
take 7 because I'm enraged.
Yeah, well, actually, we'll roll down. We'll roll down. So you take 6.
Glad I got that temporary hit points.
So,
I love
okay.
half damage.
So yeah, and that is Rihard's turn. So Tast, we are at you.
Okay. Well, this thing just laid out a guard, so we're kind of we're off of the kitty attacks. So Task will attack with Shatter Spike
Okay.
for bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I'm
One-handed or two-handed?
guessing one-handed. He still has the shield equipped.
Okay.
I'm guessing that a 14 doesn't hit.
A 14 does not hit. That's with your +9?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Just double
then,
checking.
actually, he's not ensnared, right? That broke.
Right. Yeah, he saved on it. You do have advantage, though. Go ahead and roll again, please, because you do have allies around it.
Oh.
Did you crit?
That is a natural 20.
Nice. All right, roll your D8 and double it, and then add your 6.
$17.
17 points. Okay. And for your next attack?
22.
22. To hit, that hits.
For 11 more bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And you rolled for advantage with advantage on that second one as well, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay. For how many more damage? I'm sorry.
11 more bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
The giant's looking pretty
then
bloody.
I don't think I can do hammering horns because even if I did it, he is too big for me to do anything with. So I think that's it.
Okay. Then Gale, your turn.
Okay. Doesn't seem like we're gonna save this thing, is it?
I mean, you could say you want to do a non-lethal blow.
Okay. Gale's gonna roll up and turn himself into a giant octopus.
Okay.
Bonus action. And then he's gonna try to grapple.
Okay.
Octopus.
So roll your will be contested strength, or is it? I can't remember. Do you have the stats up for that still?
Yeah, I'm
Or do I
getting
need-
it. Yeah, same thing. Same DC as the snake.
Okay. Do you need to do the attack to hit first for that?
Actually, can't I just also do the snake? Not sure.
Yeah, if you summoned it.
Can I do
Yeah.
change rating too? I think that's the question. Oh, probably not. I think I'm still on 1, aren't I? At this level. Okay, I'm gonna stick to what I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're moon, right?
Heal.
You should be up because you have it. You have more advanced stuff than
Starting at 6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your druid level divided by 3, rounded down.
Yeah, so yeah, you can't do it 2 yet.
It'd have to be 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now it's making sense. All right, I'll stick to the original plan.
Okay.
And rock whoosh. Okay, here we go. Hey, that might hit 21.
21 hits.
Okay. That's 2d6 plus 3, DC 16 escape.
Okay, it definitely escapes the grapple, but go ahead and roll your damage.
That's 9.
9?
Mm-hmm. Tentacle slap.
As you hit as you transform and you hit it with your things and you go to squeeze it and you're doing the damage, and even though like it kind of like shrugs it off, but as it shrugs it off, the giant falls to the ground unconscious.
Okay.
And you kind of see like the stone guards, like all the Durgar that are around, just kind of like take a deep breath. And as this is happening,
I'll have my snake like wrap around it, like hold it on the ground.
okay, as this is happening, the other giant comes up, like it's like it was like kind of charging, and then when it sees the other one fall, it like kind of like slows down to where it's walking, but it's still heading towards you. And as it gets closer, you see the guards look up to the other giant, and they kind of like hold up their hands, and he addresses the guards, and the guards start explaining the situation, that the giant came in, and that's why they explained to him that it doesn't appear dead, that he's still breathing. The newly arrived giant introduces himself as Dorhun, Dorhun. He's an apprentice to the stone speaker Higram. That's Hgraam.
And he
Okay.
speaks common.
Yeah, he's speaking to you in common. Once he sees that you're outsiders.
What are these names again that you speak of?
Dorhun is the giant that you guys are talking to. Dorhun. And he's an apprentice to stone speaker Higram, which is Hgraam.
Coming down from his rage, Past will center a little bit and lean on his sword to bend down to pick up the bundle of biscuits, which he will offer to the second giant.
The giant thanks you profusely for the offer. He goes, but something so small will not really provide sustenance for me. But thank you for the offer.
I'll get at a octopus.
And the second giant just kind of like looks over at you for a second, but it's like, and he like just kind of nods his head a little bit. He eyes the snake warily that's wrapped around him. Where is he wrapped? Is he wrapped around arms and chest?
Yeah.
And he's like, friend of yours? And he kind of like, he's looking at you since he just seen you shift out of this, of the form.
He's not hurting. He's just holding him in place.
And then he just kind of nods.
Is this a friend of yours?
Yeah, he reveals, he goes, yes, this is Rihud. That name's spelled Rihud. and he says that he's a stone speaker, or he's another of the stone speaker's apprentices, and that he was communing with the stone in Cairngorm Cavern. That's CAIRNGORM. When all of a sudden he went mad, sprouted the second head, and stormed out.
This giant Dorhoon, he has one head.
Correct.
How did your friend grow a head?
We don't know. He was communing with the stone, and all of a sudden, that second head popped out. He started going crazy and fled the cavern.
Has this happened before?
No. And as he's talking, as this giant's talking to you, you can see that the stone guard around are very uncomfortable. You know, they're not very pleased that, you know, kind of a revered, because the stone guard are kind of revered because they commune with the stone to help find where the ore is located at. So they make, you know, they help provide the city and like go through
slaves, basically.
Like
Slave labor.
no, not so much as slave labor as it's like having, like, if you're a gold hunter, it's about having that seasoned old wily gold veteran to lead you where the best veins are in the river or in the mine or something like that. So they're held to sort of a reverence, you know, and like the guards aren't really, they're displeased that they're showing outsiders this much favor, so to speak. And as he goes on to talk to you, and he's very grateful. Thank you for helping subdue him, not killing Ryud. He asks that you guys visit Cairngorm Cavern before they leave before leaving the city, and he tells the guards that you know, that he would like for you to visit the cavern.
Sure. As long as you don't grow a second head and go on a rampage.
It's definitely something that I would wish to avoid.
Ass nods his head solemnly before saying, I'm gonna need bigger biscuits.
The stone giant chuckles at this.
I suppose I, you know, dispel the snake, and I'm like, Dolhun, you better take your friend quick before they do go out change their mind. I mean, he did actually kill one of them.
That's unfortunate. And then the guards kind of nod and like, and he goes, I will speak with the stone speaker of this and make sure reparations are made. So,
Well, thank you for the invitation.
you know, but at this point in time, you know, the crowd's kind of died down and quieted down. Dorhoon actually picks up with ease his fallen comrade, unconscious, and starts carrying him back towards the gate. And you hear him mention, is like, oh, well, we'll send somebody to help fix that gate as well. So yeah, you guys have that. You have an invitation to go to the cavern. So you can take that up whenever you wish.
And still no dragon?
You have not seen a dragon. I mean, this was just a couple of minutes, so.
Yeah. I guess we never heard the dragon. We heard maybe
heard
we heard
rumbling.
this. Yeah.
We didn't go through that gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been bad. Could have been bad.
Go with the gate now. Let's fucking bust it open.
It might be a
as
lot
you look
easier
at it,
now.
He kind of notices Dorhoon and carrying his thing, and Dorhoon just kind of nods, and you see the giant, like, you can't see past that, but you can see the giant kind of waving to somebody else for that way. But yeah, so right now, I mean, the gate technically is open, but you see probably 10 or 20 Durgar that are by there. I mean, and technically you could get past that gate by flashing your badge.
Right.
I am
Interesting.
going to use primal awareness.
Okay.
This to do two things. One, to check on our dragon friend that Gail's trying to find, and also if that thing that I ran into is any one of those aberrations, celestial, dragon elements, fae, fiends, or undead.
They are definitely not any one of those. The dragon, you do sense that he is. Let me pull you guys back to here.
To the overmap.
You do sense the dragon probably over in this area. So still kind of southwestish from you. So you do sense I should say, yeah. You sense it in that direction. That's not its location, I should say. Since Primal Awareness doesn't give you its exact location, but it's that way. I mean, you gather it's something along that way there.
What is your favorite enemy? Is that a thing?
Yeah, he has his favorite enemy is aberrations.
Makes sense.
Let me just double check something here real quick.
I comment to you too, like these Durga, they don't really value their gods that much, I got to say. If this was Draconia, those two would be dead for sure. I suppose murder is a common thing down here.
One thing to do while I'm looking something up, will you guys give me a con save too, please?
Yikes. Rolling like shit tonight.
Sorry, dude.
Fucking ass.
Been hanging out with Chris too much.
12.
Or Steve.
Yeah, that too. We'll blame it on Steve.
For sure.
All right, so so I don't forget this. Where is it at? Damn it, I just had it. What the hell? So Gail, as you're sitting there and you kind of shift back from this, you kind of like go to like clear your throat a little bit, and you're like, and all of a sudden you spit out this black phlegm loogie onto the ground.
Well, this is new. I mean, I've spit up a lot of things, but this is definitely new.
Did you try to
And-
take a bite of the stone giant?
Oh,
Tass is not surprised with everything that this thing puts in his
Yeah.
mouth.
I promise not tricked.
But you also have 1 point of exhaustion,
Oh,
and then
Them biscuits be bad.
all of a sudden, like you see one of the guard that like is still standing by you guys. He kind of looks over. He's like, "Oh, Fred, sorry," and you kind of like give him this kind of look. He's like, "You have Grackle lung," and so basically, what he like kind of tells you what it is. He goes, "Yeah, unfortunately, one of the side effects here, we're a little bit hardened to it, but visitors can develop Grackle lung due to the constant smog and Grackle saw causes Grackle lung in a living, breathing creatures, resulting in persistent racking coughs and the spewing of thick black phlegm."
good lord.
So just something to know that on each long rest, kind of like how, instead of rolling to be evil, you have to roll to find out if you're going to develop Grackle lung.
Is this permanent?
But a creature with one or more levels of exhaustion brought on by Grackle lung must succeed on a Constitution check to take the dash action. If the check fails, the action cannot be attempted. If the creature attempts to cast a spell with a verbal component, it must succeed on a Constitution check or unable to complete the spell. So any verbal spell that you go to cast, I'm going to need a Constitution check from you.
Tass will lean towards Kree while staring at Gale and say and whisper, "Maybe we should just level and just tell them we want to get the hell out of here."
But one of the guards does goes like, "Well, usually a night of long rest will help cure it, and we haven't had visitors that like usually do that. As long as they're not here for like a week, longer than a week, they usually they can usually withstand it, or they don't feel the effects of it again." So as long as you don't do anything else to further exhaust yourself and you can get a decent night's rest, you should be able to handle it fine.
We're on the clock, boys. 7 days.
So, but you guys for each rest will still have to do it. Make the check. It's just he'll be immune to it going forward. So, all right. Sorry, I was looking up something else because of what he cast, just to make sure.
I got the black lung.
Yeah, you got the
I got the black
Gulong.
lung pop. As you release your hammer and it hits some dude behind you in the mine cave.
Underrated movie.
It's very, very funny. And I'm not a big Ben Stiller fan, but I love that movie. I'm gonna change your name from Rising Gale to Blue Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say that you sense the dragon for now. That way. So he's kind of in that direction. The way that you guys were kind of heading.
So I don't sense the demon. It's not like a mile out, right?
No. Well, a demon and a fiend are different.
Just kidding.
So,
Unless that damn thing's really good.
so
Are they? I thought they were like one and the same. No, I guess a devil could also be fiend, right?
Just double checking. It's not giving me what I want. Oh, yeah, I guess it would sense demons. Yep. So I guess in that terms, you're probably getting pings from, like, you're getting a sense from, because how big is, let me get the size of the city again.
Awareness has got a large range, hasn't it? It's like 1,000 yards. Or
It's a mile.
I take it the Underdark isn't his favorite terrain.
No.
more.
How many feet are in a mile?
3,600, right?
1 mile equals 552.80. So you're getting, when you did your thing for primal awareness, so you're just checking for pings, or like, you're getting sense from basically all directions, because you can't pinpoint it to a certain thing. I don't believe. You're just, when you do primal awareness,
You do. I'm pretty. I think you can sense like the size of what you're pinging. So if there was like one big entity, you could definitely distinguish it.
As an action, you can expend 1 ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level slot to sense any aberrations, celestial dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you. So I guess if you wanted to specify just the dragon,
There's no more text.
that's what you're-
I thought there was another line of like explanation.
this feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
I think I'm looking. See, once again, I play Ranger, but it was revised Ranger.
Yeah, it says, or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to look just for the dragon, that would narrow your sense down. Otherwise, if you're just doing the broad sense, you're picking up a ping basically from all directions.
Okay. So we sense the dragon southwest.
Well, if that's what you're doing. Yeah. So yep. But as you guys are sitting there, you take your minute. Well, I guess depending on like what spell slot you use.
Just a 1.
A 1. Yeah. So you guys are sitting there talking, and as you're talking, you kind of get the sense of it to the southwest there.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll head out. Are the guards still following us?
Yeah, you still notice that your pair are still trailing after you.
And
Are
I
you-
mentioned to Gail and Tass that I ran into something that was invisible. Probably someone.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought I'd let you know that we have a third person or a third something following us or around us, or maybe listening to us right now.
Do you guys give me a history check?
Dan.
He's nutty.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're sitting there as he's saying this, you're just sitting there like, you just keep like coughing up. You think you have a hairball, and like just a little more phlegm comes out. And as cast as Kree says this to you, you recall as well being bumped before when that guard moved away behind you, and then you guys also remember that Durgar that you guys saw in the Blade Bazaar the night before kept popping in and out of invisibility. And so as you're kind of thinking on this, one of the things that you piece together is that maybe there's an inherent ability for Durgar that they can turn into.
Well, that's handy.
So, as you guys kind of
Ass looks around for the patrolling guards.
you just see the two behind you. Same.
Are
two that were
they
there.
are they like out of conversational range?
Yeah, I mean, like if you're talking softly,
Hmm.
then you could you feel that they would not hear you.
Tass will say to the others softly, not to be a stickler, but why didn't the one that got kicked across this entire city go invisible?
He's talking to you guys.
Yeah, what the noob.
Maybe not all of them can do it.
Should have papped his racial.
Should we ask?
If you want, I'm just saying. I mean,
But yeah, the 2 times that you guys felt stuff, they rolled so bad. They're,
So why don't you just come out and talk to us, eh?
so they're different ones.
We know you're there.
Different ones or the same one?
the 2 times that you guys know, they rolled so bad.
They rolled so bad. Okay, different.
So Cree, we know they're here, right? And we know this guy's here, right?
You guys know that the 2 guards are following you.
I mean, Cree knows that he's running. Wait, who
Cree,
passed?
Cree bumped into something, and something bumped into Taft.
Anyone passed the history check and remembering?
And then they both passed the history check in remembering that
This is something that happened
the
to
guy
us.
from the bazaar from the previous night kept popping in and out of invisibility when he was trying to sell stuff to people.
So you both would suspect it would be him, at least.
Oh, he's trying to say that door guards, some or all door guards, can
Go invisible.
Because
And
presumably what the guard did is when he walked past me, he went invisible to do it.
No, you saw the guard walk past you. You felt the different, like, as you when the guard walked past you, you felt the bump. You thought it was a guard, and when you turned, the guard was already like 10 feet past you.
Okay. Okay.
And you were like, okay, that's weird. And then that's when you checked your pockets and stuff to see what was around, but you didn't see anything other than the guard that was already passed. So, but you were in the midst of everything, so it wasn't something else that you really perceived.
I thought the guard just was doing like Naruto running.
So, and then Kree bumped into something, and while he was stealthing, he thought he had bumped into the tent that he was by. When he went to go check, he was still a couple feet away from the tent. And the other guards and stuff were away from him at that point in time. So
Intriguing.
it's very possible that Kree bumped into that same vendor that was, popping in and out. And it's possible that that same vendor bumped into you. Who knows? But, you gather that Durgar have the ability to turn themselves invisible. Or at least some of them do.
Intriguing.
When do you think this is something Edith would have let us in on?
Eldith is
Edith.
not a Durgar. She's
knows
never
about
been in
it?
the city.
Look,
I
to be
mean-
honest, they don't seem like a very forthcoming people.
I understand that, but if you fight them and you've gone to war with them, and your civilization has had battles with them, I mean, you're going to know something like that. You're not going to not.
Or you just think that maybe it's a caster ability.
Could be very well be, yeah.
So,
Yes, well,
you guys have determined that it's a possibility.
hey, far
You,
as
you know, going forward.
The real question is, what do we do about Lunger here?
No, as long as we get him out of here within a week, he'll be fine.
call him.
So you guys want to keep heading west? You want to visit the Spire, or
We'll never get into the dragon.
I mean, you guys have been out traveling for like an hour.
I mean, we're not really doing anything wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
keep
far
going.
as I'm concerned, we rescued some dwarves.
That's true.
You did. You guys. Well, you guys took out half of it. They did the other half.
Wow. Let's see.
I think what I did is I took some punches that they didn't, because when he connected on the punches to them, they died.
The one
An
didn't
important
die, he
distinction
just
there.
was very, very.
The one just has a deformed face now. He was not
Yeah.
there.
I don't know. I saw a situation completely out of their control. I know they were supposed to be all elite and shit, but we had to step in, and I say that out loud.
You
I don't know if they're as talented as they think they are.
give me a perception check, Gail.
19.
19. You kind of, as you say this, and you like look back over your shoulder, the two guards that were following you, like just kind of like bristling more. You already sense that they are a little bit unhappy with the view that the fact that other stone giant was conversing with you and invited you to their cavern. But
You know, honestly, we should go right. We should just march our ass right back to the captain and point out these two idiots. But obviously, they're following us and not looking for this Druku guy or any of these other criminals.
They could be under another captain for all we know.
It's because we're black.
I'm just going to continue to do things like, if I see a vendor selling ale on the side of the road, I'm just going to buy some and have them delivered to them.
It's because Tusk is black.
all right. So what are you guys doing? You heading to the spire? You just heading west? What do you want to do?
What information do we need at the spire?
Well, you have questions that you'd like to ask,
We,
right?
we might know. They might have. That's where we can get. She told us we can definitely get info there, potentially on Brokey.
There's info, possibly Droki, about passage outside of the city, I believe. Right? Hold on.
But we're having so much fun here.
Call him.
Have to get to them caverns. Anything I can do to upset these little men, I'm going to try to do.
Okay, well, first things first. Let's try to find the dragon. If we cannot find the
I
dragon,
bet you're talking to the dragon. If that dragon talks to us, it's really going to piss these two off.
and cannot get to him, or if we can.
All right.
get
I guess
anything
he's
out of-
tracking the dragon.
I agree. Helps me out.
Are you going to cast it again?
Can he?
He has to use a spell slot for it, I think, right? Or is there a limit to it? Or is it just once?
How did he vanish? Green Ninja vanished.
Oh, he just moved his token west.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we just get closer before we even decide that?
So you guys are walking past the Shattered Spire now. You see it out there on the docks.
Yeah, it's right there. It's where we saw it last night when we were driving. Alright, so do we hear the dragon walking? I mean, we sensed it in this general direction and we got over here. It's light and things, so can't be too much far away.
You hear a little bit more rumbling. All of a sudden you hear like the whoosh of what you would assume to be a breath weapon if you've encountered or from stories that you've heard about dragons.
And in what direction?
South.
I know that whoosh.
We gotta go through this gate. We gotta show them the badges.
Excuse me. We're important. Badge. being treated like minorities, but we have badges.
Okay. So as you guys are getting ready to go through the gate, the Durgar like basically like stop you and like you guys need to back up. You need to back up. And as they kind of like push you and usher you back,
the hell, man.
all of a sudden you see this big red head of a dragon come through the gate. And then as you're looking at that, you see right below the head, you see a couple people that are a couple of Durgar that are in robes, leading the dragon, and they kind of give you guys a curious look, because you guys were like kind of ushered back probably about like a good, say 25-30 feet, and you see the dragon's head dip down, and you see the Durgar in the robes kind of like turn to listen to him for a second, and the dragon like veers off towards this direction, towards a couple of buildings and forges up here. But you see one of the people in robes come in your direction.
All yours, Gil. There's your dragon. That shit's scary as hell.
Yeah, he's huge.
He walked off by himself.
No, he walked off with like, you see like there was like, because there was like 3 people in robes in front of him, and then you see there's like 3 trailing, but 2 of the ones in front of him went with him, and then the 3 behind, and you have one Durgar that's in robes that
He basically told one of the road people to go deal with the peasants, and he went on about his business.
So you have one that's coming up closer to you, and he says something in Dwarvish, looking to see if you guys respond to that at all, and then speaks in Common after like waiting to see, and he's like, and he like, you can kind of see like his face is kind of like just irritated that he has to be doing this, and he basically goes, Thundershard would like an audience with you guys later in the day.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then he said this loud enough you could see the 2 Durgar that were trailing you guys just like kind of like do this, like just shaking their head like, what is going on, you know?
I just take a quick glance back and just a big old smile on my face.
Tass will very loudly exclaim, "Everybody wants an audience with us, except those 2." And he points at the other.
Wants to see us?
But yeah, so he says this. He goes, just present yourself to the guards at the gates just south of Goldborn's lair. So it would be these gates right here, not the one. Yeah. So later on today, and we can, or whenever you're ready, preferably today, and
Gates?
the gates south of directly south of Goldborn's lair. And Thundershard is very interested to talk to you.
When would the mighty Trumbashard wish to see us?
Later this evening.
Sounds like a date.
It does sound like a date.
Or a buffet. I'm not sure.
Relax.
He wants to talk to
You're
you over
not
the evening
beef.
meal.
He wants to have us over for dinner.
Bring any friends you have. But on that note, we will end tonight's session
Okay.
because it's getting a little late.
Fun.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I kept waiting for the giant episode to happen, or if it was going to happen. So I'm happy that it did.
I like playing these characters.
Yeah, they're fun. They are fun.
They are fun.
Somebody down here will eat my biscuits.
Whoa.
Hey, Gail and I ate your biscuits.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, you got one bundle of biscuits left.
I was very grateful for the breakfast.
It was a hearty meal. We needed it for the freaking giant.
You know what? The funny thing is we're over here, and when we start the next session, if the other two show up, they're gonna still be back at the end. And we're gonna start with a split party.
Yeah.
Intellect. I don't know. Must be Raycon. Whatever.
We can just head back to the end. You wanted to speak to the dragon, but then if on the way back, we probably would have stopped at the end because you still had questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can stop at the spire on the way back.
Yeah. I will.
Do all that.
For our grand meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool deal.
Yeah, it was fun, guys.
Right on.
So, yeah, I don't know what happened to the other two because I got no messages.
That kid hasn't even been on wild. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably something
He's
really
not even
cool.
on Discord.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's okay. But, but yeah, so we'll go from there. And yeah, whatever it is, it is. And if you guys want me to, since I now have the list, I can go ahead and divvy that stuff up. Or if you guys want to do the shopping episode yourselves with it, then we'll see.
We'll wait.
So
Because we got all that stuff as a group for the most part. So.
but yeah, but there will there
We already
you three
got it
will-
over them, so it's okay.
you guys will definitely hit level 6 before them though. So
Nice.
it'll be at least
It's gonna be awesome.
that you guys will be at least a session ahead of them in that regards, just because you guys got the experience from the giant encounter. So good time.
And all the role playing experience we got with these damn guards.
Yep. Yes.
Tormenting guards. XP bonus.
Yep.
Hey, you're supposed to hand out XP for role.
Role play. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, it was fun times, guys. Thank you so much.
Alright, dudes.
But I will chat with you all later on.
Yeah,
Later, guys.
Right.
Bye.
Right.
And that's all for tonight, folks. That was another session in Out of the Abyss, my Monday night campaign where I play as a player, a Path of the Wild magic barbarian. Missing a few people tonight. Hope they're okay, but until next time, enjoy the rest of your night, guys.